Hey friends, it's Allison here, jumping in real quick before you get into all the juicy details of today's episode. Did you know there is just one more week left to our 200th episode giveaway where you have the chance to win a full ride scholarship to the Better Belly Blueprint? This is the way to heal your gut so that you can poop daily, ditch acid reflux, and balance your hormones even when nothing else has worked. Here's how you can enter. Leave a rating and review on the Better Belly podcast on Apple Podcast or Spotify between now and May 29th. Take a screenshot of that rating and review, then go to betterbellytherapies.com/giveaway and fill out our 200th episode giveaway form. You will automatically receive an email with a code for $200 off the Better Belly Blueprint, which you're going to get as soon as you send in that form. And then a full scholarship winner is going to be announced on May 30th and messaged by email. If you win, you're going to win a full scholarship to the Better Belly Blueprint. And if you don't win, you can still get $200 off, which is 20% off of the Better Belly Blueprint if you join by May 31st at midnight. So go ahead and leave a rating and review. Get that giveaway form filled out at betterbellytherapies.com/giveaway, and you can finally end your constipation, acid reflux, and PMS for good. On a recent group coaching call for my online course, The Better Belly Blueprint, we talked about how your morning routine can boost or break your ability to poop in the morning. After we jumped off the call, I realized that this information is so simple, yet talked about so little in the online space. So on today's episode, I'm spilling all the beans on my morning routine and what I recommend my clients to do to naturally relieve constipation and optimize their poop schedule. If you want to learn 3 hacks in your morning routine to naturally relieve constipation, then this episode is for you. Now, today's podcast episode is going to be a little different, at least in the beginning, because my tech has completely exploded on me this week. I am recording on somebody else's computer right now. We are just trying to make things work and roll. So I don't have any fun music or background or intro. But before we dive in, I would just love to introduce myself. My name is Allison, and I struggled in my first few decades of life with all of things in my health declining. My hair was falling out. I couldn't poop during the day. I was on super restricted diets like the low FODMAP diet. I was making my own kombucha to try and heal my gut. I couldn't sleep through the night. Did I already say that? The problems were numerous. Didn't have a period. It was rough. And I was in my early 20s and I didn't know what I had suddenly did so wrong that had cued all this. On top of this, my doctors had no solutions for me. All of my procedures and medications that I tried didn't work, and I was miserable. I was in pain all the time. Fast forward to today, it's over 8 years ago that all that happened. I've now helped over 100 men and women overcome their gut health problems, primarily bloating and constipation, but also things like diarrhea, acid reflux, skin problems, eczema, acne, no periods, painful periods, infertility, all these things and more, because they're all tied together. And through functional health and through just holistic methods, I've helped people figure out what they actually need to do to heal their body. So if you have found yourself up late at night Googling natural constipation remedies or causes for bloating or recipes and exercises to help your bloating and constipation, if you have big ambitious goals, but you feel frustrated and confused when you can't even figure out what foods to eat to feel good on, if you want freedom from bloating and constipation and honestly so much more, then you are in the right place. I am so glad that you found this podcast episode. I hope this episode blesses you. And especially if you are a new dude, go and check out all our previous episodes. We have so much amazing content, testimonials from clients of mine, amazing deep dives into the science behind the gut and why fiber and water and probiotics aren't enough or aren't healing you, even like everyone says they should. It's a lie. Don't believe them. Go check out those episodes. And I hope you enjoyed today's episode. So, as I said, today's episode was inspired by a group coaching call that I had with my students a couple weeks ago, where we ended up talking about some morning routines that they could do and just tweaks to help them self-poop in the morning. And if you're talking about, Allison, what are these group coaching calls? How can I join? What's involved with that? If you would like to be on one of these group coaching calls, getting my eyes on your health, being able to ask me questions live and hear my answers to other students in my course, then I have some good news for you. I have a course, the Better Belly Blueprint, where I teach you all the things that I've done for myself and with my clients to help them heal and end their bloating and constipation. And like I said, so many more things, because the gut is tied to every part of your body. If you wish that there was a way to end bloating and constipation without wasting time and money on solutions that don't work, if you feel like you're going to doctor after doctor, trying diet after diet and endless supplements only to not feel better and be exhausted, if you can imagine the feeling of what it would be like to know exactly what to do to end your bloating and constipation so that you can stop wasting time and honestly have hope again, then that's what the Better Belly Blueprint is for. It's a course where I teach you how to end bloating and constipation for good by helping you build a personalized health plan using rad science that you can do yourself. You will be able to create your own customized health plan and get freedom from bloating and constipation in 6 months or less. You will also walk away with finally a plan that guides you step by step to a body that you can trust will feel good and perform consistently day after day. And yes, that does include being able to fit into your clothes that you want to fit into. So if you're ready to know exactly what to do to end bloating and constipation in a way that's customized to you, then join the Better Belly Blueprint. You can just go to betterbellytherapies.com/blueprint or click the link in the show notes. That's betterbellytherapies.com/blueprint. And when you join, you will automatically get 3 months of free membership to the Better Belly membership, which includes bi-weekly group coaching calls and my members only Facebook group, where you're able to come in, ask questions, get fast answers, and not get stuck on your pathway to healing. No more waiting for doctor's appointments that are months out. No more single lines of advice from your doctor of try this for 2 weeks and I don't want to hear from you until you've worked on this one thing. Get a full plan, because honestly, that is often what is missing if all these things don't work. And that honestly goes for even today's episode. As much as I love the content in it, I know it's going to be effective for my students who I was talking with, because this isn't the one thing they're trying. I do honestly hope that these 3 hacks that I'm about to talk about are helpful to you, that they make even some impact, even if it doesn't get you 100% towards where you want to be. But if you do these 3 hacks and you're like, that didn't really work, don't throw out what I would say the baby with the bathwater. There's good stuff in these hacks. They really do work. But if they're not working, a lot of times there's other things going on that's keeping these things from working. It'd be like wanting to get fresh air into your house. You open your window, but you forget that your curtain is down. And so some air is coming in that's fresh, but your curtain is still closed. And so it's going to impact how well your air's coming through. And so if you are trying one thing and it sort of works or doesn't work at all, there could be other things going on. And that's everything I teach both in my podcast. So if you just want to get kind of the sneak peek into the course, go listen to more podcast episodes, or just join the course where I really fast track you and give you steps A, B, C, D. I give you access to everything you need to know, including need to have access to 4 key functional lab tests that get sent straight to your home. I teach you how to analyze them, what protocols to do, what not to do, which, guys, is super valuable if you know all the things you've tried that hasn't worked, and help you get results. Plus, like I said, group coaching call if you need any tweaks or questions along the way. Without further ado, let's jump into these 3 hacks. So hack number 1, wait 30 to 60 minutes before eating in the morning. Now, this is something that I see goes a couple different ways. A lot of times my clients who are truly struggling with constipation, bloating, digestive problems in general, it's very common that in the morning they're not even hungry. So they're like, I don't even eat anyways. If you are one of those people and you are not getting urges to eat in the morning, one thing I want to say right away is don't feel like you need to force yourself to eat. There's a lot of information out there on you have to eat. That is what is best for you in the morning. Blood sugar, It's not true. There's no one perfect ideal diet for everyone. I'm going to say that right away. If you haven't heard it, please let me say it again. There's no perfect ideal diet for everyone. And even a good diet that was good for you 10 years ago might not be the same now because you are a changing person. What we need when we're children, what we need when we're young adults, what we need when we are getting older changes. So you might not need breakfast in the morning, or part of what's going on when you are not hungry in the morning is that, for example, you have low stomach acid, which is a huge, part of a root cause of constipation. It's like that curtain hanging over the open window, not letting fresh air in, right? Low stomach acid can cause that. And so all that being said, we're not talking about how to fix low stomach acid right now, which I do teach in my course, The Better Belly Blueprint. But if you just allow yourself to wait that 30 to 60 minutes before you eat, the minute you wake up in the morning, one of the things that happens is you actually give your body a little bit more time to be in that fasting state and to start processing more food from yesterday. I literally had a client I was talking about this process with, a one-to-one client, and she's like, oh my gosh, that I was basically giving her permission not to eat right away in the morning. And she said, oh, is that what is happening when I wake up and I taste food in the back of my throat from like what I ate last night? And I said, yeah, you're probably not digesting it super fast. We know she has H. pylori, which is a huge component of low stomach acid. And I said, until we get rid of H. pylori and do everything we need to do to have your body build up its own stomach acid reserves again, then you're going to still get that feeling in the back of your throat. However, if you give yourself just a little bit more time, your motility is going to start again. You're just going to be better prepared to start. You're going to finish digesting your food. And so one of the principles of pooping, y'all, is your body can't be distracted by something else. It can't be distracted by traffic. That's like quote unquote stress, where your body's getting signals that says now is not a good time to poop, by the way. Now, some people, sure, they get urges where their body's saying, I really need to poop right now in traffic. But especially if you're struggling with pooping and constipation, it's just not a good thing to, like, being in traffic's not going to help you out. So, similarly, other things that might distract the body from digesting would be eating another meal. When you eat another meal, the body's going to put all of its reserves. It's going to put extra blood into the small intestines. It's going to try and go and produce bile from the liver and pancreatic enzymes and stomach acid in the stomach. It's going to have all hands on deck to digest and not to poop. So especially if you're still struggling with getting those regular rhythms, giving yourself more time is good. And I have some clients who even just to the point won't eat breakfast. I still recommend getting in those calories. Say you're only eating from noon to 7 p.m. or something like that. Still get in the same amount of calories. This is not about cutting meals and cutting calories. This is about giving yourself time to digest so that your body is in a state of peace and not just peace, like something ethereal, but in a state of fasting, because fasting is also a great time and place for us to poop. Moving on. So hack number 1 is wait 30 to 60 minutes before eating right away, or honestly more time if you feel like it. The second thing is take some supplements. And the supplements I typically recommend is number 1, potassium shot. Potassium shot is a little homemade recipe that I give to my students in my course, and it's made of cream of tartar, salt, and like either lemon juice or water. And cream of tartar is potassium. And then you have salt, so Celtic sea salt or Himalayan pink salt, because table salt, which is manufactured by man, it has the wrong ionization. It can actually deplete your cells of salt opposed to replenish it. And that's where you get puffy when you eat salt. There's a whole thing on salt I talk with my students about, but Celtic sea salt or Himalayan sea salt, because while magnesium gets all the press for helping you poop, first off, if you're listening to this, you might be at a point where magnesium doesn't even help you poop anymore, or it's like the only thing that helps you. The other thing is that magnesium is only one of 3 major electrolytes that help your bowels actually contract, like your smooth muscle of your gut move, and the other 2 are salt and potassium. Most of my clients, by the time they're coming to me and they're depleted and they're constipated, they are depleted of potassium and sodium, and those are the two more components of that curtain coming down and not letting the fresh air into the room. And so I honestly often have, because my clients wake up in the morning, either immediately or kind of after brushing teeth. It doesn't super matter, but take the potassium shot on an empty stomach and then wait there 30 to 60 minutes before eating right away. And that potassium shot has time to then be absorbed without being watered down by other food going into the belly. And you will often get a bowel movement out of this. So I give all the instructions and recipes for that in the Better Belly Blueprint if you want to know that. But that is my hack number 2, a supplement, potassium shot. The second supplement is actually stomach acid. We can take stomach acid as a supplement. It's called betaine HCl. And I also have my clients take another supplement with it, which is helping replenish a key missing mineral that is a part of us being able to make our own stomach acid. So if you give yourself stomach acid in the morning, especially if you're just noticing a lot of bloating or feelings of fullness, it's most likely because you have low stomach acid. You take that, you wait 30 to 60 minutes, and bowel movements just start happening, y'all. So that is hack number 2. And hack number 3 is more around implementation of these first 2 hacks, which is I recommend building these first 2 rhythms around your schedule. So I want you to think about, what is your normal schedule like in the morning? Are you hungry in the morning when you wake up? And work with that. If you are hungry in the morning, eat. Like, it's going to drop your blood sugar and do all sorts of stuff. Just eat. Like, don't worry about the pooping at this point. Because also waking up hungry is a good sign that you probably were digesting actively during the night. However, I will say a caveat to waking up hungry is I also get clients who wake up and their stomach hurts, and there can be some confusion between, is this hunger or is this like just stomach pain? Sometimes eating relieves it, but then it's clear later, like that's pain. Now that I've eaten, it went away a little bit, but now it's back even worse. Things like that. Those are bad signs. They come with the territory of things like pathogens, especially Candida, which really the pathogens want you to eat because that's their meal, but then you're giving them fuel and then they kind of go nutso. So those are, again, things I teach in my course, how to get rid of, how to kill, how to and do it holistically, honestly, because I get a lot of clients that I've worked with who have already done a Candida cleanse before. They've already done a parasite cleanse before. They've already done whatever it was to get rid of a pathogen. And I wish I could say to you, all those clients, like that wasn't actually their problem. But often it's like, you didn't really kill the Candida. And we're always able to go back and find out why, especially when we compare what they did to what I recommend them doing. So just room for the suspicion there that if you've already killed pathogens you feel like in the past, however you feel like you did it, I don't like saying you just did it wrong. I just have found all the loopholes of things that typically get recommended and why they don't work. And then we address those things. When you do it all together, then that really, really helps. So I do have a lot more podcasts on things. I do have a Candida podcast, for example. It is episode 149, the Candida episode, 4 steps to get rid of Candida for good. And I walk you through a little bit more of the hacks behind Candida. And then you, again, could join us in the Better Belly Blueprint to get rid of that sucker. But if you are hungry in the morning, do eat. If it's belly pain and you're not sure, you could still eat. But the better thing is definitely dealing with all the things going on behind that, which, again, I feel like I'm saying that a lot. Not trying to say it more than normal, but join the Better Belly Blueprint. I want you in there. I want you free from whatever you are currently dealing with. But so do work with it around your schedule. Let me give you an example of what mine looks like, and that might help you. So Monday through Wednesday, I take my daughter to daycare, and it just so happens that taking her to daycare is a 30-minute drive there and a 30-minute drive back. So what I typically do is I wake up, I dress and get myself ready. Then I go over to my daughter's nursery, which is across the hall. I go down, I get her ready. Then we take all her stuff. We go downstairs to the kitchen. I take my supplements. Right now, I'm not taking like a potassium shot or betaine HCl most of the time, but I do have some supplements that I'm working on for different reasons. These are on the island counter, which is a hack, by the way. Put your supplements somewhere where you're like regularly passing by, especially if there's a nice water source. So that could be your bathroom. It could be your kitchen, wherever you have water and you are passing by regularly. Then I put her in the car and I'm on my way. I now have that window appeared where I'm not saying I'm not eating breakfast. I didn't force myself to eat breakfast out the door. I typically don't eat in the car, though sometimes I can tell I'll be hungry and I'll take something with me to tide me over. But then I will, drive either to my office from the daycare or back home to do work at home. And it's at that point that I then am coming into the house, I'll eat a little bit of food or I'll eat, honestly, not just a little bit, it doesn't matter how much I eat. I eat food until I feel full. And then I typically have this relaxed downtime window where I've eaten food and I either don't have a client for about an hour or I'm doing some work on my computer at my home office. And it was in this state that I typically know I'm going to have a poop between either 8 and 9 or 9 to 10. Kind of depends on exactly how early I got up, when I took my supplements, and then when I had that window of open time. I eat. Again, eating in this point in time, for whatever reason, it's not like eating food's always going to make you not poop. In fact, many of my clients notice that maybe pooping helps them, or eating does help them poop. Either way, I just know that that's what's going to happen. I now also know if I say do that same morning routine where I take my supplements, I have that 30 to 60 minute window that's open, I eat, and then I don't have downtime, I immediately have a client, or I'm immediately in calls on Zoom or things like that, I less often get the urge to poop. And that is just because I'm getting this more fight and flight, and I'm telling my body now's not a good time to poop. I often these days will then get it later in the day when I have a little bit more downtime, whether that's, just 2 to 3 p.m. I just don't have a client and I don't have a Zoom call and I'm able to take a breather. Because it's when we're in that relaxed state, we're able to do a little bit of self-care according to our bowels. So another morning would be on Thursday morning, my husband takes my daughter to daycare. So I wake up usually when it feels good for me. I immediately go down and take my supplements because my window that I use is brushing my teeth, brushing my hair, changing my clothes. That's the window that I have it be. So I know that I'm going to have that window. If it doesn't take me enough time between taking the supplements and then when I'm finished, quote unquote, getting ready, I'll just do something extra. I'll work out. I'll send a few work emails. I'll read the Bible, whatever I do. But I actually love this little 30 to 60 minute window time period because I feel like I'm doing something in the background while I'm doing something in the foreground at the same time. I feel hyper productive in that way. And I'm pretty aware of I took those at 8 a.m. or 8:15 a.m. and I'm going to do something until 9:15, and then I'll prep my breakfast, eat it, and move on. And so that's what I do. And then, of course, I still have a little bit of that downtime window. So I want you to think about, what's your morning like? Do you go to the gym in the morning? You could take your supplements before you go work out the workout of the gym, come back from the gym, take your shower, then eat. You could take your supplements before you take a shower, do your hair and put on your makeup. You could take supplements before you read a magazine and drink your tea, or go to Starbucks to work at the Starbucks office. Whatever is going on, you would be able to do that before you take your kids to school, things like that. And so there is freedom. You don't have to feel like you need to stuff food down your throat. You can take food with you. You can eat when you come back. I mean, if you can, if that's true, but start to think flexibly about that. And if you're not sure, if you're in my program, the Better Belly Blueprint, you can come bring those things to our group coaching calls and say, hey, I'm just having a hard time thinking of a way and a time to implement this rhythm. And we can talk through your morning routine. I would love to help you out there. So those are the 3 hacks for your morning routine to help you naturally relieve constipation. Hack 1, wait 30 to 60 minutes before eating right away. Hack 2, take a supplement at the beginning, especially ones that are often going to help you poop. I highly recommend the potassium shot, and only take stomach acid. Only take stomach acid, that betaine HCl, if you know you don't have H. pylori, because if you do have H. pylori, then you are going to feel way, way worse on it. And then hack 3, build it around your schedule. Make this work for you. It doesn't have to be some extra thing. You're like, Allison, I don't have an extra 30 to 60 minutes to twiddle my thumbs. No, just build it around what you're already doing. And I hope you love this episode. This is going to be my outro because, again, we don't have our normal music and fun things. If you love this episode, I'd highly recommend go and hit the subscribe button so you can keep hearing more content coming out. Go listen to some of our previous episodes and dig into all the stuff that I'm trying to put together to help you overcome all the annoying same stuff you see on the internet about gut health and fiber and probiotics, so you can actually start feeling good again, because I promise you, you can. You are not stuck, get it, pun? I have so many clients, including myself, who had no options in front of them, did not know what to do, did not think they could ever get better, and they are, and they have. So I believe in you. I am so excited for you, and I can't wait to see you on the next podcast.